I think it happens different for everyone. It was just easy the first night. It was just, oh, I just need some money tonight. And what does it matter? I give it away for free anyways. I was already making bad sexual decisions at that age. You know, sleeping with too many men and not loving myself and not having any respect for my body. I became involved with this gang, and I was asked if I wanted to work for them. And that meant selling my body for their profit, and not much gain for me, except for maybe the occasional meal, some clothes, sometimes money that would get taken back. I would also get free drugs and free alcohol, if you call it free. I think it was because it was just something exciting and fun at the time, you know, but as the years went on, it started becoming a crutch, and how I dealt with things, or how I didn't deal with things, more like it. I used it to escape my problems and not deal with things in my life. I felt it was something I had to do in order to be clean and sober. Servants Anonymous Society is a non-profit agency for women and their children who may be involved in the sex trade or be at risk of sexual exploitation. We have many different women here for a multitude of different reasons. And we offer housing, long-term support, childcare, life skills, job training, and we offer scholarships and different things like that. I question all the time, how did we get here? And I look at every woman who comes in here and I wonder what happened that brought her to these decisions. And I'll tell you honestly, it's about saving my daughter. I think about it all the time. How does this happen and how do you prevent it? If we could pinpoint those things, we would save so many. The first and only time that I entered treatment was when I was pregnant with my third boy, and I was getting close to my due date, and I went into labor while I was in treatment. After I had my son, I had been on a waiting list to go into Servants Anonymous, and I had my intake interview while I was in labor. At that time I was very suicidal, even though I was pregnant and depressed, and I wanted to have my son, but at the same time I wasn't feeling like I was in the best position to be having a child. And SAS helped me in that sense of being able to be a mother and learn skills so that I could become a better parent to all my kids. I was using right up until the minute I pulled up to the hospital. It was crazy. I pulled up to the emergency doors, pipe in my mouth. Security came out to get me. I was already 5 centimeters dilated. The baby was coming, you know, and I didn't have a lot of clue as to what was going on, except for that I was out of dope and I was in pain now. Like that's the only way I felt the contractions. So I ended up having my daughter. She was addicted. She wasn't breathing when she was born. She was absolutely stoned. And I was being told they were taking her for sure, right?
because there was an 11-day stay at the hospital for my daughter before she went to foster care, and I was told by child welfare that I would be allowed to feed her and allowed to bath her for the time she was at the hospital as long as I stayed clean. So I did that. I stayed in the hospital, stayed clean, did those feedings and stuff. Child welfare told me I couldn't breastfeed. And it's really something that I wanted to do, but I didn't want to do it till I was clean, obviously. So I had been told that's never going to happen, and one of the nurses said to me, don't let them tell you that if that's something you want to do. And she showed me how to use a breast pump. She helped me get a breast pump, and I breast pumped every 3 hours all through the day and night for 4 months until I got my daughter back. And then she latched and I was able to breastfeed her. You know, I'm grateful for my experiences and for my addiction, because it gives me the opportunity to look at myself every day. I think that was meant to be. I don't think I would have been this strong for my child if I hadn't gone through those things.
Well, with my youngest son, I mean, because I was pregnant with him and went into recovery when I was pregnant with him, I felt like I was bringing another child into the world, and I needed things to be different for good this time. And he's like my daily reminder, you know. And when I'm having the crappiest day and everything's, you know, feeling like shit, I can go and pick him up from daycare, and when he says mommy and he runs to me and gives me a big hug, I'm just like, it all melts away, you know. And I'm like, wow, you know, that's amazing.